Border Patrol and city officials both held press conferences last hour, including the state's governor, Tim Walz. And journalist Steve Futterman has been monitoring all of that for us. So, Steve, ICE officials and city officials and the governor for the state have given us further reporting. What did we learn in terms of any clarity?
Well, Natasha, both sides are pretty much sticking to their stories. The local officials say this was totally unnecessary. This was an abuse of police power. Greg Bovino, the commander of the Border Patrol, the senior commander of the Border Patrol, is not using the same language he used yesterday, not calling him a domestic terrorist, not saying that he was out to massacre police, but still saying that what police did was justified. Let's take a listen first to the governor, Tim Walz. He did not hold back today, again demanding that the ICE troops, the ICE officers, the Border Patrol officers leave Minneapolis, asking Donald Trump, what is your goal here? Take a listen to some of what he had to say.
We believe that Donald Trump needs to pull these 3,000 untrained agents out of Minnesota before they kill another person. You're allowed to decide at any point that you're not with this anymore. If you voted for this administration, heck, even if you thought Operation Metro Surge was a good idea, sounded like the thing to do a month ago, you're still allowed to look at what's happening here in Minnesota and say, this isn't what I voted for and this isn't what I want.
And that's the key question right now, Natasha. Where is this narrative going? Are the American people, is the public going to turn against ICE officers, Border Patrol officers for what happened in this video? In this incident, the videos are very clear. Remember yesterday, Bovino, Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, both said that he approached officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. That's just not true. He did have a handgun on his person. I believe it was in a holster on his waist, but he was not holding it up. It was not being shown to police as he approached them. He was showing a cell phone. Let's listen to a bit of what Bovino had to say today. Again, he seems to be backing off some of the inflammatory comments from yesterday. Take a listen.
If you choose collusion and corruption as a choice, then there are consequences and actions that take place because of that. And those actions and choices can obviously have tragic consequences.
Now, he also was basically urging people not to have a rush to judgment, said there will be investigations. Well, that was not really what he was saying yesterday. I want to read you a quick comment from the Oklahoma Republican governor, Kevin Stitt. He was on CNN today. This is what he had to say. And I think he may be wavering a bit in his support of Trump and the actions of ICE and Border Patrol. He said, what is the goal right now? Is it to deport every non-U.S. citizen? I don't think that's what Americans want. We need to know what is the end game, and I don't think it's to deport every single non-U.S. citizen. Again, he supports the idea of getting rid of the so-called bad guys, the people who are in this country illegally and have done horrible things. But he's asking, is this what we're doing right now, just trying to get rid of everyone who's not a U.S. citizen? So we're seeing a bit of perhaps wavering in total support of Donald Trump right now. The next 24, 48 hours are going to be very critical. Will there be others who break from the administration on this incident? I'll bring you my recalling of the Rodney King beating in 1991. That was the first famous beating that was recorded on video. It took a few days, but the public eventually turned on the police. Now, there was a racial aspect to that one. There isn't one here, but there could be a moral aspect here. Right over wrong. Is what the police did right, or was it wrong? That's one of the questions right now.
Journalist Steve Futterman in Los Angeles. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Natasha.